Here, KCR all set to be meeting with Bihar Chief Minister Nitish and Deputy Tejaswi. KCR and Nitish to apparently discuss national politics. The opposition unity for 2024 polls seems to be on the agenda. Chief Minister of Telangana, KCR, will have lunch with Nitish Kumar. 10 lakh rupees has also been promised by KCR to the families of soldiers of Bihar killed in the Galwan Valley clashes. In fact, the visit is all set to happen on Wednesday. Here's the big news. Chief Minister KCR to give also assistance of 5 lakhs to the families of the 12 labourers of Bihar who died in a fire accident in Sikandrabad. On the invitation of Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar, Chief Minister KCR will have lunch with him. Both the Chief Ministers will discuss politics of the country during this period. Rohit Singh for more on that. Rohit, KCR, who seems like the champion of the third front, right ahead of the 2024 polls, is now meeting yet another opposition leader, a turncoat himself, Nitish Kumar.
Yes, absolutely. KCR is in fact visiting several states, meeting our top opposition leaders, whether it's Maharashtra or Bengal, and many other states. And today, and now that Nitish Kumar is in the opposition camp, K. Chandrasekhar Rao has just reached Patna and is meeting Chief Minister Nitish Kumar. As you rightly said, that first there will be a lunch meeting between the two Chief Ministers, after which they will hold meetings. And also there's an event which is lined up where KCR will be handing over checks of financial assistance to kins of the 5 soldiers who were killed in Galwan Valley, and also the kins of 12 workers who were killed in Sikandrabad fire. So this is really a first visit, high-profile visit by a top opposition leader to Bihar ever since Nitish Kumar has dumped BJP and formed the government with RJD. And KCR and Nitish Kumar will be discussing politics and how to take on BJP in 2024. That will be the topmost agenda as far as discussion between the two leaders is concerned. And also, you see, Nitish Kumar's name is being floated by his party, JDU, for the Prime Minister candidate. So it remains to be seen what happens, what transpires in this meeting. But obviously, Nitish Kumar, this meeting will we see Nitish Kumar returning back to the national politics because he is meeting a top national leader from the opposition camp.
All right, was this on invitation of Nitish Kumar, or was it KCR's idea to meet with the Bihar Chief Minister? Would you know how this plan really happened?
Well, what the JDU is claiming is that it was KCR who was more interested in coming to Bihar, meeting Chief Minister Nitish Kumar, as he has been doing in the last few months. We have seen that he's meeting Mamata Banerjee, he's met the Maharashtra Chief Minister. So he's visiting several opposition leaders, trying to bring them on board as far as the opposition unity is concerned. But now remains to be seen that whether KCR will be accepting Nitish Kumar's candidature as the Prime Ministerial candidate, because in Bihar, his party is really backing Nitish Kumar for 2024 as the face to take on Narendra Modi.
All right. Rohit, thank you very much for joining us. Many aspirants on the opposition for the PM's race, it appears. 2024 elections going to be quite a watch. Of course, Rohit, a little more on Bihar now becoming a state without the BJP losing power there in Bihar right after Nitish Kumar pulled out. So Nitish also nursing prime ministerial ambitions. Would you say so? Could you elaborate on what you just said?
Will never come out publicly and say that he is having any PM aspiration or not. But yes, what we are seeing that what has been the tendency of Nitish Kumar, the mode of the operation, the way of his functioning is that his party leaders, they come out and float this idea. In the past also we have seen, if Nitish Kumar wants to do anything, he doesn't come out openly and say that. His party leaders, they build an atmosphere in and around him. And here we are seeing that his party leaders in the last 15 days are pitching for Nitish to be the Prime Ministerial face to take for 2024. Several leaders from the Janata Dal United for calling him a Prime Minister material, and he was well qualified to become the next Prime Minister. Some leaders also saying that he will be unfurling the tricolour in 2024 at the Red Fort. So there is an atmosphere which is being created. But you see, as you rightly pointed out, there are so many PM aspirants as far as the opposition camp is concerned. So will there be a sort of unanimity that can be seen, where there will be a unanimous decision that okay, all the opposition partners from north to south, everyone comes together and accepts Nitish Kumar candidature as the prime ministerial face for 2024? That remains a big question. But obviously now that Nitish Kumar is in the opposition camp, this has come as a big motivation and encouragement for the opposition unity.
You know, Rohit, give us some understanding on the opposition parties who are really on board when it comes to uniting, because as far as we've seen, all attempts for a third front, you know, that was in fact headed by KCR himself. Even ahead of 2019 Lok Sabha polls, KCR was the one who really pushed for a third front. And then too, we did not see complete unity of the opposition. This time too, we either see AAP missing out, or the Congress missing out, or the TMC missing out. Somehow it seems like these three parties, the AAP, TMC and the Congress, are clashing with this regard, with this unity, you know, plan to come together. It seems like their views are clashing on this front.
See, as far as my political understanding goes, any alliance, any opposition alliance without the Congress will not be as potent to take on the BJP's might, which is at present we see. So I think Congress will be important, but then it comes that Congress already has its own prime ministerial face, Rahul Gandhi. So will the Congress relent? Will Congress say, okay, decide that Nitish Kumar is the prime minister face, we will be supporting that? That is very unlikely to happen. Mamata Banerjee, you see, their party leaders are already saying in West Bengal that she is the face who can take on Prime Minister Modi in 2024. Kejriwal's party also claims that Arvind Kejriwal was the face to take on Narendra Modi in 2024. So there are various political parties, various opposition parties which have their own prime ministerial face. So that coming on a board, coming on board with one name, accepting one face, that remains a big question. And in the last few years, we have been seeing the kind of politics in the country. That has been the main challenge for the opposition, that they have failed to reach a consensus for a one face who can be the prime ministerial face as the opposition is concerned, or the third front is concerned.